Hey, Steelers Nation! Welcome back to the channel, where we bring you the latest and greatest updates on our Pittsburgh Steelers. As you know, this team is all about growth and resilience, and we're seeing it play out week after week. Right now, we're 10-3 and sitting in a great position for the playoffs, but the journey is far from over. Before we dive into today's exclusive update on George Pickens, let me remind you to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps this community going strong, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single second of what's coming next for the black and gold. Let's talk about the news everyone's buzzing about: George Pickens' hamstring injury. Missing a star receiver like Pickens in a critical division game could have been disastrous, but Steelers Nation, this team proved it's built on more than one player. According to ESPN insider Adam Schefter, the decision to hold Pickens out of Sunday's win over the Cleveland Browns wasn't made lightly. During an appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Schefter revealed, "I think they were absolutely planning on him playing," Schefter explained. Mike Tomlin said before the game that he thought he was going to play. But Friday morning, Pickens woke up with tightness in his hamstring. They held him out of practice that day, and while he participated in Saturday's walkthrough, the team ultimately decided not to risk it. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin doubled down on this cautious approach, emphasizing the long-term picture. "We didn't feel like he was going to be able to play the type of number of snaps that we thought would be worth putting him in a uniform. To be quite honest with you, we didn't want a small problem to become a big problem." Hamstring injuries are notoriously tricky, and with a crucial game against the Philadelphia Eagles coming up, it's clear the Steelers are prioritizing Pickens' health for the stretch run. Here's where things get interesting. For months, fans and analysts questioned the Steelers' lack of a clear number 2 receiver behind Pickens. Without him, this game was supposed to expose those doubts. Instead, Pittsburgh's depth players rose to the occasion, showing that this offense is more versatile than many believed. Mike Tomlin summed it up best after the game. "The strength of the pack is the pack. Maybe you'll start believing me now. Here's how the pack performed." Scotty Miller. Known primarily as a role player, Miller had 3 clutch catches, including a jaw-dropping sideline grab. Mike Williams. Another 3 catches, one of which was a critical third-down conversion that kept a scoring drive alive. Van Jefferson stepped up big in the red zone with a touchdown grab that showcased his route-running skills and strong hands. Ben Skowronek, while not as visible on offense, he delivered a momentum-shifting play on special teams, proving that every contribution matters. The Browns game wasn't just a win, it was a statement. This team showed that it can adapt and overcome adversity, even without one of its most dynamic playmakers. Let's look at the bigger picture. 1. Confidence in depth. Games like this build trust in the entire roster. Whether it's Scotty Miller or Van Jefferson, these players now know they can deliver when their number is called. 2. Flexibility for the postseason. Come playoff time, defenses will try to key in on stars like Pickens and Harris. Having other weapons step up forces opponents to pick their poison. 3. Momentum for upcoming challenges. With the Eagles looming in Week 15, this team needed to prove it could handle adversity. Mission accomplished. Now, let's address the decision to sideline Pickens. Was it frustrating for fans? Absolutely. We all love watching him torch defenses with his spectacular catches and explosive plays. But here's the thing, holding him out was the right call. Hamstring injuries aren't something you play around with, especially for a player who relies on speed and agility. As Schefter put it, hamstring injuries are usually multi-week injuries. The Steelers' medical team decided to take the long-term view and make sure Pickens didn't aggravate it further. This decision could pay dividends later. A healthy Pickens in January is far more valuable than risking him for a single December game, even if it's against the Browns or Eagles. Now, all eyes turn to Week 15. The Steelers head to Philadelphia to face the 11-2 Eagles, one of the league's most complete teams. This matchup will test Pittsburgh in every way imaginable. Here are some key storylines to watch. Will Pickens return? The Steelers haven't ruled him out yet, but it's still uncertain if he'll be ready to suit up. If he does, his impact will be enormous, especially against an aggressive Eagles secondary. Can the depth players deliver again? Sunday's win proved the pack can step up, but the Eagles are a different beast. Players like Miller and Jefferson will need to replicate, or even exceed, their performances. Russell Wilson's leadership. Wilson's ability to lead and make smart decisions will be critical in this hostile environment. His chemistry with players like Freiermuth and Harris will be put to the test. Steelers defense versus Eagles offense. T.J. Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick will need to play lights-out football to contain Jalen Hurts and the Eagles' dynamic attack. Let's dream big for a second. With the Steelers sitting at 10-3 and the Eagles at 11-2, this matchup has all the makings of a Super Bowl 59 preview. While it's still early, a win here would solidify Pittsburgh as a legitimate contender and send a message to the rest of the NFL. Steelers Nation, let's talk about a man who embodies the heart and soul of Pittsburgh football, Cam Heyward. This season, Heyward isn't just playing well. He's rewriting the narrative about what's possible for a 35-year-old defensive lineman in the NFL. Let's rewind to the start of 2023. Heyward suffered a groin injury in the very first game of the season. It was a tough blow, and let's be honest, many of us started to wonder if Father Time had finally caught up with him. The man was essentially playing on one leg for most of the year. But here's the thing about Heyward, he's built differently. After off-season surgery and months of relentless rehab, Heyward came into 2024 with something to prove. And prove it he has. At 35, he's playing some of the best football of his career, silencing critics and reminding everyone why he's been the backbone of Pittsburgh's defense for over a decade. You don't have to take my word for it, just look at the numbers. Daniel Valente, known on social media as @StatsGuyDaniel, dropped a stat comparison that sent shockwaves through the NFL world. Valente compared Heyward's 2024 season to J.J. Watt's legendary 2012 and 2014 campaigns, both of which earned what the Defensive Player of the Year award. Think about that for a second. We're talking about one of the greatest defensive seasons in history, and Heyward is right there, matching it step for step. Even with T.J. Watt leading the DPOY race as the favorite, Heyward is firmly in the conversation as a dark horse. While T.J. boasts odds of -250, Cam's odds have skyrocketed to +5,000. That's momentum you can't ignore, and it's a testament to just how dominant he's been this season. Here's a little behind-the-scenes story that shows you the kind of competitor Heyward is. During the offseason, he saved screenshots of fan criticisms. Yes, the tweets, the posts, all of it. People doubted he could come back, that he was too old, that his best days were behind him. Fast forward to now, and Heyward is using that doubt as fuel. Every sack, every tackle for loss, every disrupted play is a message to the doubters. I'm not done yet. For years, Steelers fans and analysts have debated whether Cam Heyward deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame. If his 2024 season continues at this pace, that debate might be over. Few defensive linemen in NFL history have been able to dominate this late in their careers. But Heyward isn't just chasing individual accolades, he's chasing greatness for this team. The Steelers are sitting pretty at 10-3, looking like legitimate Super Bowl contenders. If Heyward can keep this momentum going and help lead Pittsburgh to a championship, his legacy will be cemented as one of the all-time greats. Let's not forget the dynamic duo that makes the Steelers' defense so special, Cam Heyward and T.J. Watt. T.J. is the frontrunner for Defensive Player of the Year for good reason. He's been a game-wrecker all season long. But Heyward's resurgence has taken some of the pressure off Watt and allowed this defense to play at an elite level. Together, they've turned Pittsburgh's defense into a nightmare for opposing offenses. And while TJ may get the headlines, Heyward's leadership and playmaking are the glue that hold it all together. All right, Steelers family, now it's your turn. How do you feel about George Pickens sitting out against the Browns? Do you think the team made the right call prioritizing his long-term health? And what are your predictions for the Eagles game? Will Pittsburgh rise to the occasion once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an update during this thrilling playoff push. That's all for today, Steelers Nation. Stay tuned for more updates as we gear up for a massive Week 15 showdown. Until next time, keep waving those terrible towels high. Let's go, Steelers!